Hi everyone, I'm Bradley Freeman, and I was lucky enough to get an interview with Kirk Thatcher, Emmy Award-winning writer, director, producer. Um, yeah, he worked on Muppets Tonight, Elmo and Grouchland, Dinosaurs, Jim Henson Hour, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. Crazy amount of stuff. E.T., The Poltergeist. He's done it all, and I was so honored to be able to interview him. And so my first question for him was how long did you know Jim Henson? You got to meet Jim Henson, which is awesome. You got to work with him for a little while. How long did you know him, and how did he influence you both personally and professionally?
Yeah, I met Jim in 1986, 87, and I worked with him until 91 when he passed away, or 90. I can never remember the exact year because probably because I try not to. But yeah, so I worked with him 4 or 5 years. We became very good friends and worked on a bunch of projects. But the two that most people know, the least known is the Jim Henson Hour, because it only ran, I think, for I think they ran like 8 episodes out of 12. And then Dinosaurs was the thing that most people remember. That was the last thing we worked on. The way you work with people, the way you interact, being a director or a producer is a different job than being more of a component, because you really set a tone. I was a puppet builder, a creature maker, a puppeteer, a special effects guy. And then you're sort of a member of a team, and it's all about teamwork, which is important too. But when you're a producer director, it's more about the leader of a team and the way you treat people and just how you interact with them and what that creative process is. A lot of artists there's a lot of ego in the way. In a creative discussion, let's say you and I are working on a project, and I want, I don't know, say that, I want the rabbits to be cute, and you're like, no, this is more like Watership Down. I want the rabbits to be more realistic. So we have a disagreement, which is a creative disagreement. I don't think you're an idiot. You don't think I'm an idiot. You go, no, I think they should be more real, and I think they should have more personality. So then you get into a discussion of that's where drawings help. That's why Jim always had guys like me around because he was very visual. I was very visual. We would talk and then talk and draw. So you can hone down what realistic or what caricatured. Sometimes you find out you just have different words for the same thing. With Jim, we had similar tastes. So it was, that's why he hired me, and that's why we got along so well. With other people, you find out, you don't know what anyone's background is in this business. You might work with a director or producer or talent. As a director, you work with actors. And to them, I remember I gave an actor once a line, be a little more furtive. And he stared at me like I was an a-hole, furtive. And I mean, more trepidation. Like, as my writer, my words I was being used, but that didn't trepidatious, more trepidation, more furtive. You're more tentative, Then we found the word that helped him get an internal to create an action that, I thought was appropriate. So a lot of that creative interaction is finding common ground, whether it's, some people are very visual, some people are very verbal, some people are very kinesthetic. It's more or emotional. It's a feeling. And I don't work on a super feeling level, except intuitively. So my language this is what you learn being a director or a writer.
Right.
Any artist, you have an incredible set of skill set that you have, tools that are germane, organic to your nature, but you also need to learn, particularly if you're working every day with sometimes hundreds of other people, you need to find out how to read people or how to pull it out of them so you can, mesh.
So Kirk, how do you collaborate with other people on sets?
I have an idea of what the scene, what this movie, what this bit is supposed to be. Here's how I see it. Let's all jump in and collaborate, as opposed to do this. Like, the worst boss in the world, no matter if you're running a paper manufacturing company or a creative endeavor like the Muppets, the worst bosses in the world hire people who are specialists who typically know more about the job than you do. That's why you hired them. They're either great at running the paper cutting machine or whatever. But then if you tell them exactly how to do their job, you've not expanded your tool set. If you use a hammer like a saw, it's not going to be a very good saw. And if you tell your cameraman exactly what you want, now telling him exactly what you want and exactly how to do it are two different things.
Right.
And there's a lot of people whose sort of their fear, I think, expresses itself as trying to be what you commonly known as a control freak.
Right.
You know, like, no, do it this way. No, do it that way.
Yeah.
And what happens is you find your crew, whether again, you're building robots, monsters, or you're making paper, your crew will just go, okay, buddy, I give up. I de-invest myself in the process. You tell me what to do, I'll do it. I will now be a robot. And that's the worst thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there are famous directors who are complete control freaks. And they usually spend a lot of time and a lot of money because people are like, all right, man, just tell me what you want. And, like Jim Cameron, and I'm not casting aspersions. He's an amazing, like a genius.
Yeah.
But he knows a lot about a lot and will tell his people what to do. Mm-hmm. But his movies cost hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't have that luxury. So I like it to be a very playful, joyful experience for everyone because, again, the hours are long and sometimes it's very difficult just technically. You've got a head in the shot. Again, with puppets, I'm making it specifically about puppets now.
Yeah.
You have a head in the shot. You see a cable. The puppeteer's arm doesn't bend that way. So the camera's got to adjust. Whatever it is, it's a constant give and take. I would say someone asked me the hardest thing about directing puppets, and I said physics, because you're just trying to do so much with the human arm. This is all basically a hand can do. The thumb can go like that, the fingers move, and you can go like that. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to tell a story with sometimes 1 to 5 to 8 of these things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to keep the human's head out of the shot.
Yeah.
And you put dolls on them, and create the illusion of life. It's a tremendous amount, just like animation, traditional cell animation, computer animation. It's hundreds of people spending thousands of hours moving things one frame at a time. And it's very, very complex. Pixar has a good corporate environment from what I know. I have a bunch of friends who have worked there or working there. And the other thing about it is you need a clear leader who, in a perfect world, and this very often doesn't happen, knows what they want. That's the part of being a director or a producer is what you're trying to achieve. And it doesn't mean you tell everyone this is it, but you can guide. And I think that, coming back to Jim was sort of guiding everyone, but it was a very collaborative process.
I want to thank Kirk Thatcher for this interview. It was an absolute honor just being able to talk to him. I hope I get to do it again sometime. That was awesome. Hopefully I get to meet even more new people. I feel like I made a good friend out of this, and I hope to make some more. Without further ado, let's enjoy Kirk's cameo from Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home.
Stopping that noise. The sins of all our fathers being dumped on us, the sons. The only choice we're given is how many megatons. Excuse me. Do you mind stopping that damn noise?